NoFap Flatline. Here's how to deal with it. Are you going through a flatline and unsure how to deal with it? In this video, I'm going to show you some tips that have helped me get through my own flatline. Hi and welcome to Male Wisdom. I know you're interested to know more, so let's start. For those who are not familiar, NoFap is a challenge where people attempt to go for an extended period of time without masturbation. Some people take on the challenge for religious reasons, while others do it in an attempt to improve their mental and physical health. While there is no scientific evidence to support the claim that avoiding masturbation has health benefits, many people report feeling more energetic and motivated after giving up self-pleasure. However, some people also experience what is known as the NoFap flatline. The good news is that the NoFap flatline is completely normal, and it usually only lasts for a few weeks. So if you're thinking about trying NoFap, don't be discouraged if you hit a bit of a slump in the beginning. It's all part of the process. So, let's start by discussing what exactly a flatline is in the context of a pornographic reboot. What is a flatline? Please use your reasoning skills to consider this. Your brain has become accustomed to the massive artificial release of neurochemicals that causes feelings of pleasure. It seems to offset the pain from when you first started staring at a screen, be it a year, 2 years, a decade, or 2 decades ago. Furthermore, it has formed a connection between your brain and the screen, making your brain yearn for its former love interest, which is the screen. That's exactly right. Oxytocin, okay, so when you stop doing that as part of pornography recovery or after a reboot, your system no longer receives the massive amounts of neurochemicals it was. As a result, the curve of neurochemical release is now flat. The result is that you feel terrible most of the time and that your sexual libido plummets. Your libido drops off significantly. Your ability to get and keep an erection and everything else will suffer if your brain stops receiving that neurochemical release. That is why it is called flatline. So this was explained by Dr. Trish Lee. You can go check her out if you want, but flatline is basically like withdrawing, right? You're stopping your brain from receiving all these good chemicals it craves. So what I want to add is she mentioned before that your brain's love interest is now fapping, the screen, self-pleasure, or whatever, so that also means you have become addicted. For some people, fapping is simply a way to relieve sexual tension or achieve orgasm. However, for others, fapping can become an addiction. Like any other addiction, fapping can lead to feelings of guilt and shame and cause problems in personal relationships. Additionally, people addicted to fapping may find that they cannot stop even when they want to. If you think you may be addicted to fapping, you must reach out for help from a professional. With treatment, it is possible to break the cycle of addiction and regain control over your life. When will the flatline last? One of the most difficult things about giving up pornography is dealing with a NoFap flatline. This is the period of time, usually around 3 months, when erections are harder to come by and libido is at an all-time low. It can be discouraging, but it is important to remember that the NoFap flatline is only temporary. The reason it occurs is that your body is adjusting to not being constantly bombarded with sexual stimulation. Once it has had a chance to detox from years of abuse, your natural sex drive will begin to return. In the meantime, there are things you can do to help yourself through the flatline. Exercise and healthy eating will boost your testosterone levels, and supplements like zinc and magnesium can help to increase blood flow to the penis. What then can you do? Here's another helpful suggestion from your brilliant mind. What can you do to set things in motion correctly? So dopamine is the primary neurochemical that your brain has been receiving. The chemical causes insatiable cravings, compulsive repeat visits, and a perpetual state of half-fulfillment. You can help your brain recover from the excessive amounts of porn you've been feeding it by engaging in activities that provide a positive cognitive balance. There are many activities that can give you a dopamine hit, from eating delicious food to winning a game. However, not all activities are created equal. Some activities, like fapping, release dopamine in a way that is not conducive to long-term health or happiness. Others, like taking care of a pet or playing an instrument, release dopamine in a way that is associated with positive outcomes. So if you're looking for activities that will make you feel good in the long run, consider activities that positively give dopamine. In the real world, you can do something I refer to as cheating in the right direction. If you're a chocoholic, you don't have to abstain entirely from your favorite treat on the nights you usually indulge. We know that chocolate counteracts, it gives your brain dopamine. It's not that I recommend stuffing your face with chocolate, but we all know that food has the same effect. Dopamine can be obtained through eating food and eating healthily throughout the day. This runner's high is one of the main motivations for exercising, and it can help us to stick with our workout routines, even when we're tired or sore. In addition to the immediate boost in dopamine levels, working out also triggers the release of other hormones that have long-term benefits for our mental and physical health. So next time you're trying to motivate yourself to exercise, remember that working out increases dopamine levels and can provide lasting benefits for your mind and body. Dopamine and serotonin are released when you participate in pleasurable activities, so finding ways to increase both is essential. The feel-good neurotransmitter your brain was already getting from your routine, albeit in lower doses. Since we know that porn is a supernormal stimulus, finding other ways to provide your brain with the same stimulation it has been receiving from the habit is essential. You cannot maintain the same level of care. But you can try to make up for it by giving it a steady stream of dopamine throughout the day. Using that to offset the flat line while mentally retreating is a potent strategy. There is no such thing as a try, but you may have to try in the case of a flatline. Attempting to engage in healthy sexual intimacy with your partner may not feel good or come at first. You won't succeed in rewiring your brain without the support of your partner, but making an effort will help. Dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and epinephrine are just some of the feel-good chemicals that get released when you're with a special someone. That's the rewiring part, as you let the unwiring happen as a result of quitting the habit to get closer to a live person. And you'll start to see the neural pathways in your brain change. Why do people fap? What triggers it? Most experts believe that excessive fapping can be attributed to pleasure-seeking and boredom. When someone masturbates, they're usually seeking out the pleasure of orgasm. However, the problem with this is that it can become a bit of a hamster wheel. The more you masturbate, the more you crave the pleasure of orgasm, and the less likely you are to actually achieve it. This can lead to frustration and resentment, which can further fuel the urge to fap. Boredom is also a common trigger for excessive fapping. When someone is bored, they often seek out activities that will provide them with some sort of relief or distraction. For some people, this means mindlessly scrolling through social media or watching Netflix. For others, it means indulging in a little self-pleasure. The problem is that boredom is often short-lived. As soon as the initial relief or distraction fades, the boredom returns. And so the cycle continues. Excessive fapping can have several negative consequences, both physical and mental. Again, I'm gonna emphasize what Dr. Trish said. For example, it can lead to erectile dysfunction, as well as reduced sensitivity in the penis. It can also cause anxiety and depression, and make it difficult to focus or concentrate on tasks. If you find yourself struggling to stop fapping, it's important to reach out for help. There are many resources available to assist you in making healthy changes in your life. If you're a man who faps too much, don't worry about going to prison since you're already in one, and this prison has more prisoners than all of the world's jails combined. To think about, please consider the following. When viewed in isolation, pornographic media and masturbation may seem like harmless pleasures, but they have serious consequences. A decrease in libido and sexual satisfaction has been linked to excessive pornographic media consumption. And because porn can be so addictive, viewers may seek out more extreme examples of violence and sexual exploitation. Desensitization, social withdrawal, and other mental health problems are all possible outcomes of prolonged exposure. Harmful sexual attitudes and behaviors are reinforced when people masturbate while consuming porn. When sexual intercourse is no longer seen as a loving act shared by two consenting adults, it is seen only as a means to an end of gratifying one's sexual desires. Because of this, finding a partner who is a good fit for you may be difficult, which could harm your happiness. Some of the many reasons why it's more important to encourage the development of positive sexual relationships than to promote the consumption of pornographic media are as follows. You can miss out on critical developmental milestones if you don't. Most men don't realize they're caught in this web, and that's the biggest issue. You'll feel great once you free yourself from the mental prison of excessive fapping. One of my favorite quotes is, "Mastering others is strength, but mastering oneself is the ultimate power." Please allow me to offer words of encouragement and inspiration to those of you who feel stuck in a rut. If this happens, it means your mind is developing. If it's good for you, it doesn't matter if it feels good or not. It's encouraging evidence that you're progressing in the right direction. Keep going. You've got this, and I'm immensely proud of you. I know it takes a lot of courage to keep looking for help, even if you're feeling this way, but I want you to know that I admire your determination. During your journey, please stop by her website called drtrishly.com. She can help you in several ways thanks to her collection of programs of varying sizes. Like porn, she has made some courses that can serve as a springboard for you to get started in the right direction. There are no hidden fees, creating an account quickly, and your identity will remain private while using her services. I haven't tried it, but if you want to you can go. There are also other ways to help you out there. Be sure to do your research. Together, we can hasten your recovery so that you're back to living your best life and performing at your highest level in no time. I want you to remember these things. First, don't despair. The flatline is temporary and you will eventually start to feel better. Second, try to stay busy and distracted. This can be difficult, but it's important to keep your mind off of sex. Third, reach out to other NoFapers for support. There are many people who have been through the same thing and they can offer helpful advice. Finally, be patient. The flatline can last for weeks or even months, but eventually, your sexual drive will return stronger than ever before. Just hang in there and don't give up. Did you know that semen retention has benefits for both men and women? In this next video, we discuss the eye contact bonus, a little known benefit of semen retention. When you retain your semen, you improve your health and vitality and increase the attraction between you and others. So if you want to boost your confidence and attractiveness, watch this.